Hello, dear friends. The Origin of the Kybalion is an old samurai book entitled The Sword of Life, according to the trickster, and I have taken the trouble to research its subject. Opinion piece: The Sword of Life, Self-Mastery, A Guide to Life, Zen Philosophy, Zen and Martial Arts, Peacemaker Warrior, Conflict is Unnecessary, Mastery as a Form of Peace, Overcoming without Killing, The Sword that is not wielded, Spontaneous and Effective Action, The Art of War is Overcoming Evil, Mastery is the Preservation of Life, Inner Peace and Mental Emptiness, Spiritual Control prevents violence. Let's start. The Sword of Life is a philosophical book that offers a deep and ancient vision of wisdom and that has a significant impact in the field of esoteric thought, especially due to its influence on the Wek, the Kybalion. The book is inspired by a Japanese martial text that has been kept secret for centuries. Although the Kybalion is well known, few know that its principles are based on this Eastern text. This book includes 37 aphorisms of wisdom with deep philosophical and esoteric content. It is important to note that only a part of the original text has been released. The masters who have guarded the text for centuries have not allowed the complete publication of it, which adds an additional mystery to the work. Content: The Sword of Life is a classic work written by Yagyu Munenori, a famous swordsman and martial arts master of feudal Japan. It is also known as the Book of Family Tradition in the Art of War. In this book, Munenori, who served the shogun Tokugawa Ieyasu, sets forth his vision of the art of the sword and the strategy, integrating both martial technique and Zen philosophy, to teach how self-mastery can lead to mastery over any conflict. The book is divided into three main sections, which explore everything from combat techniques to principles to self-control and spiritual enlightenment. Munenori explains the basics of sword combat, including techniques for anticipating and responding to the opponent's moves. The killing sword symbolizes techniques that end the life of the enemy. However, Munenori explains that this goal is not to incite violence, but to understand confrontation in order to seek peace. For him, understanding the sword should allow the practitioner to avoid conflict and control it with the minimum necessary damage. Winning without killing. The katana of life is a metaphor for the ability to win without killing. Munenori introduces the idea of a state where the warrior becomes a peacemaker. By reaching a higher level of skill and self-control, the warrior learns to avoid violence by anticipating and diffusing the enemy's intentions before combat is necessary. True mastery is demonstrated not in destruction, but in the preservation of life. In the final section, entitled The Sword Not Wielded, Munenori explores the Zen concept of no mind, a state of flow and clarity in which the warrior reacts without conscious thought, allowing action to emerge spontaneously and effectively. This state is the result of intense practice and understanding of emptiness, where one stops seeing combat as an act of force to see it as a harmonious integration of all elements. Mastery. For Yagyu Munenori, true mastery in combat does not consist in winning, but in reaching a level where conflict is unnecessary. Control of the mind and the spirit allows for resolution without violence. Munenori fuses Zen teachings with martial practice, showing how the warrior must cultivate inner peace and mental emptiness to act appropriately in each situation. The sword of life and the sword of death represents a duality in which the warrior must understand the destructive power of his skill, but also its potential for protection and control. Therefore, it is not only a martial arts treatise, but a guide to life that seeks to help the warrior find balance and harmony both in battle and in peace. Budo is a way to find peace and self-control. It is a teaching that allows one to correctly understand the nature of the mind and oneself, and to grow spiritually as a human being. The book uses Zen to explain the mastery of the mind using the analogy of sword mastery, and vice versa, harmonizing Zen, Kenjutsu, and Bushido, as only a true master can do. Quotes. The best quotes from Yahyu Munenori. Conquering evil, not the opponent, is the essence of swordsmanship. The art of war is not to kill people, it is to kill evil. Look first with your mind, then with your eyes, and finally with your body. Cutting a man in one fell swoop is easy. Avoiding being cut by a man is hard. Opinions. According to Dave68, a great blackout is the most expedient path to the greater reset. According to Judy Bington, a nationwide communications blackout is planned for Election Day on November 5th. Anxiety and frustration dominate feelings days before the elections. Trump sues CBS over Harris' 60 Minutes interview. According to Kavamur, full disclosure unravels everything. Full disclosure unravels everything that humans believe to be true. So, a complete update of consciousness and separation from dark forces is necessary to fully accept it. According to Dog Poet, something is about to happen, and any material event can suddenly manifest. It speaks of a wave of invisible force moving like a great current through the hive mind and changing things in a major way. I know that everything is going to turn out well, maybe not for everyone, but certainly for those of us who can leave things as they are. According to Nemesis, doom, darkness, ignorance, destruction, and death are reaching their climax. It is the Halloween of the four turns, the Kali Yuga. The age of darkness, ignorance, and devastation is called the fourth turn of Kali Yuga. Cycles of life, whether universal or individual, like the four seasons, the mere fact of being alive creates a Kali Yuga. There is nothing new here, just a lot of ignorance. Who will win the race against the machine? According to Ariel Proletario 1, what awaits us is a restructured world, not in the service of a selected few, but with the strength and the will of a united people, standing firm in a clarity that can no longer overshadow the darkness of the old God with all its solutions of deception and chicanery. Moving forward without their manipulative schemes will be much better for our understanding of a grander plan for our civilization. According to Rose Rambles, ascension doesn't mean being saved, nor it is tied to any specific religion. Rather, ascension is about your state of consciousness, your way of thinking, and how you feel about yourself. Humans are about to experience new thoughts and ideas about our world, our way of living, and most importantly, how we feel about ourselves. Feeling better leads to a faster vibrational frequency, which causes our consciousness to rise or ascend. According to Poet Dog, since the devil is the mind, when it is upside down, it can lead to all kinds of ideas. The world is upside down and appearances are deceptive, so deception is the order of the day in business, advertising, politics, religion, and romance, along with most areas of material engagement. The world is deceiving anyone who lets their cat down, anyone who doesn't keep a firm focus on what is in front of them. When any kind of exchange is taking place, dot, if you divert your attention, you will either get your pocket picked up or your heart broken. One way to get what you want from others, by hook or by crook, is to give the impression that they can get what they want. A baited hook rarely goes unnoticed. At Lao Tzu observed even a fish would survive if it kept its mouth shut. According to an anonymous reader, there are two remote viewing institutes, Farsight and Future Forecasting, that analyze the upcoming election. In total, 9 individual remote observers conducted a session on the winner. Amazingly, each of the 9 saw Kamala Harris arrive at the White House. I hope they are wrong. The power of thinking and the Montauk chair. A few decades ago, a whistleblower came forward to talk about several secret projects and experiments he had worked on in the underground bases of the Montauk military facility. In one of the experiments, there was an object called the Montauk chair, which was recovered from a crashed alien vehicle. This chair expands the ability to manifest reality through thought. The whistleblower was able to create a creature in his mind that was half monster, half animal, and in an instant that creature appeared in the lab and began destroying it. A Pentagon chief reveals a high-resolution photo of a mothership that looks like a crystal city floating in the sky. The Galactics have said that they would show us their ships from time to time. There is a talk of a crystalline city of light over Sedona, but we cannot see it because it is hidden. In time, it will be revealed for all to see, and it will remain there. They say there will be many cities of light later on above cities and above the ocean floating like a cloud, and we will be able to visit them and even reside there if we wish. Research speaks of crystal cities of light in the inner earth like a garter. Economy. Amazon crashes e-commerce. Meta AI registers more than 500 million users a year after its launch. According to Gerald Talente, the artificial economy is about to collapse. According to Bob Moriarty, financial change could change everything. Russia and China opt for gradual de-dollarization at the Kazan summit. X22 report. Gold and Bitcoin will most likely make incredible moves as the economy collapses. Middle East. Israel bans UN refugee agency from operating in the country. A rocket hits an Irish Blue Helmet base in southern Lebanon. The US Congress threatens Russia with direct military action if it uses North Korean troops against Ukraine. Spain. The government sends 500 more soldiers to the Valencian region. Real Madrid donates €1 million to the victims of the floods in Valencia. Traffic estimates that there are 1,000 vehicles pending removal on Valencian roads. Train traffic to Valencia will remain paralyzed for at least 15 days. 39 people arrested for looting shops in areas affected by the storm. The National Police Union censures the Ministry of the Interior for refusing to deploy riot police in the affected areas. The storm causes a tornado in Huelva and 300 evictions in Jerez. The feeling of precariousness affects the mental health of young Spaniards. The EU left the Sahel, but Spain will return. It will train soldiers from Mauritania and Mali. Spain appoints ambassador to Argentina, ending diplomatic crisis. Americas. Argentina and El Salvador offer aid to Spain for flooding in Valencia. Gasoline prices rise in Argentina. Transport strike against Milei's economic measures. Argentina cut more than 33,000 public sector workers. Milei dismisses Foreign Minister Mondino for voting in the UN against the blockade of Cuba. Mexico confirms sending 400,000 barrels of oil as aid to Cuba. Mexico could build more than 63,000 homes for people in need. Scientists discover an ancient Mayan city in the jungle of the Strait of Campeche, located in southeastern Mexico. Popular demonstration in Ecuador against the energy crisis. Brazil will not join the Chinese Belt and Road Initiative. Brazil asked the US to clarify why its new embassy in Brasilia will have 9 underground floors. Maria Corina Machado thanks Meloni for his support for a democratic transition in Venezuela. And that's all for today. Thanks a lot, dear friends.